I call to order this meeting of the Knox County Commission for Monday, August 28th, 2023. Seated to my right is Vice Chairwoman Terry Hill and Law Director Moyers. Seated to my left is Ms. Kim Ellis and Ms. Haley Evans with Knox County Clerk's Office. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Lundy.
Here.
Commissioner Darrett.
Here.
Commissioner Oster. Here. Commissioner Ward. Here. Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Here.
Commissioner Hill. Here. Commissioner Lee. Here. Commissioner Beeler.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Jay.
Here.
Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
11 members are present.
We do have a quorum. At this time, I will recognize Commissioner Oster for tonight's devotional.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This actually was perfect timing to have, for me to have the devotional, especially after the tornadoes in my district. I learned more that week than I probably would have learned normally in a regular year about a lot of things. But I truly knew I was in the right place at the right time. Serving our constituents is an honor, and I don't take that lightly, and I believe you feel the same as commissioners. We're blessed with a wonderful community. I'm truly blessed to serve District 3. So if you'll bow your heads and pray with me. Father, thank you for this time and this place. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve Knox County. May we all work hard for our districts and our community. I pray for the victims of the tornadoes, and I thank you, Father, for the protection of the lives. I ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Oster. I'll now look to Commissioner Jay to lead us in tonight's pledge.
If you are able, please stand and render a proper salute to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Jay. Commissioners, our agenda for the evening is before you, but with the following additions. Additions are 38 and 39. Deferrals are items number 40 and 47. Withdrawal, item number 48. And non-consent items are 41 through 45. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to set the agenda as amended by Commissioner Beeler with a second by Commissioner Jay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Our agenda for the evening is set. Madam Clerk?
Education consent calendar.
Okay. So, go ahead. I was going to combine them. I will open the floor for a motion to approve our education consent and general government consent calendars. Oh, wow. Is there a second? I heard a bunch. Motion to approve by Commissioner Hill with a second by Commissioner Lee. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Both consent calendars are approved. Yes.
The next item is Resolution 102. It's honoring the Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's Office for receiving the Innovator Award from the International Association of Government Officials for its driver's license reinstatement program.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Frazier, second by Lee to approve. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. We are pleased to recognize our clerk's office and their achievements. Whereas the Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's Office recently received an Innovator Award from the International Association of Government Officials for its Driver's License Specialist Program. And whereas the Innovator Award recognizes innovative programs that reflect best practices in their respective fields and are unique to their area. And whereas the Criminal Court Clerk's Office established the Driver's License Specialist Program in 2018 to assist individuals seeking to reinstate their driver's license by filling a resource gap between agencies and streamlining the reinstatement process. And whereas since the establishment of the Driver's License Specialist Program, over 2,000 people have successfully reinstated their license, some of whom have not had their license for many years. And whereas the Driver's License Specialist Program has had a positive impact on many Knox County citizens who can now get assistance through a process that they previously had difficulty navigating to regain their driver's license. And whereas the Knox County Commission wishes to recognize and commend the Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's Office for being nationally recognized for its Innovators Driver's License Specialist Program and the impactful service the program provides to our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Commission of Knox County as follows. The Commission of Knox County hereby honors Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's Office upon the occasion of its receipt of the Innovator Award from the International Association of Government Officials for its Driver's License Specialist Program. Knox County government is very fortunate to have employees who are dedicated to serving and helping the people of our community. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to the Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's Office. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to take effect from and after its passage as provided by the Charter of Knox County, Tennessee, the public welfare requiring it. Please help me acknowledge their work.
Well, thank you. I appreciate very much this honor, and thank you for recognizing us. 5 years ago, we learned that people were having difficulty getting a driver's license reinstated because of red tape in Nashville. And so we came back and said, is there something that we can do? I had an employee I want to introduce to you who said, I would like to do that. She has taken this program, made it her own, and she is responsible for over 2,000 people getting their driver's license reinstated. Sometimes it has been difficult. She's had to jump through a number of hoops. Sometimes the people have just gotten out of jail. Sometimes they have gone for years without driving legally. It doesn't mean they weren't driving. It means that they were not driving legally. But I want to introduce to you what I believe is one of the unsung heroes of our office and someone who has definitely made an impact on over 2,000 people in our community to help them become more productive citizens. And that is Barbara Davis. Barbara?
I just want to say that we're very grateful for the words of this proclamation acknowledging the driver's license program, and to thank you all so much for this recognition. I am very blessed to come to work every day and be able to help an individual, if it's just one, come to me and say, you have helped me. I have reached my goal and I have been able to get my driver's license. That is just beyond words, that the feeling that makes you feel of coming to work and knowing you've helped someone. So I just wanted from my heart to say thank you all and to thank Mr. Hammond for giving me this opportunity to work and help the folks of Knox County. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item, please.
It's Resolution 103, honoring Knox County Schools for receiving the 2023 Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award, the highest U.S. government honor to employers for support of National Guard and Reserve employees.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Frazier with a second by Commissioner Lee. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Commissioner Frazier?
It's quite an honor to be able to acknowledge these folks and this great accomplishment. Whereas the U.S. Department of Defense recently announced that Knox County Schools is a recipient of the 2023 Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award, the highest U.S. government honor to employers for support of National Guard and Reserve employees. And whereas from over 1,800 nominations nationwide, Knox County Schools was one of 15 national finalists that included small, large, private, and public sector employers nominated by a National Guard or Reserve employee in their organization. And whereas recipients of the award distinguished themselves by going far beyond the requirements of the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act to support their National Guard and Reserve employees. And whereas in receiving the award, Knox County Schools has been recognized for practicing including human resources policies that exceed federally mandated requirements, including a recent policy revision to increase the accrued military leave for service members from 20 to 30 days, student participation in events including the annual Veterans Day Parade, school participation in the National Medal of Honor Convention, recognition of veterans at athletic events and other gatherings. And whereas the Knox County Commission desires to commend Knox County Schools for its exceptional employer support of Guard and Reserve employees and for recognizing and valuing the skill sets of Guard and Reserve employees and what they bring to teaching, leading, and supporting students in the Knox County school system. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Commission of Knox County as follows. The Knox County Commission hereby honors Knox County Schools for receiving the prestigious 2023 Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award and its commitment to supporting Knox County school employees who serve our country in the National Guard and Reserve. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Knox County Schools. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to take effect from and after its passage, as provided by the Charter of Knox County, Tennessee, the public welfare requirement. Please help me acknowledge this.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, thank you. We are very thankful to Major Hicks of Hardin Valley Academy for submitting Knox County Schools for this nomination. We're also appreciative of Major Hicks and all of our other employees who are members of the Guard and Reserve for their service to our country and also their choice to lend their experience and expertise to the service of students of Knox County Schools.
Thank you. And will you please state your name so we can have that for the record? Yes. Sorry.
Jennifer Himmelgarn, Assistant Superintendent of Business and Talent.
Thank you.
Would all of commission come down so we could grab a quick pic since this was a full commission support?
Sure.
John, why don't you share with the group where you're
I could do that as we're going up.
receive the award?
So we'll do, as we gather, we'll say real quick. So tomorrow, Ms. Himmelgarn and I get to catch a flight to DC. So we'll be at the Pentagon tomorrow, and then the awards are the next day at the Pentagon. And then we get to tour the Pentagon after that. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, we get to go up and accept on behalf of Knox County Schools. We're excited about that.
Smile.
I know, that's so awesome. Can we go with you? Come on.
There are no presentations for this evening, so this brings us to public forum. Under our rules, those of us signed up to speak on a particular agenda item may speak at this time. We have one person who has signed up to speak, Mr. Rick Roach. If you are here, but I didn't see him. So we will move him to the end if he does attend. Next, we have approval of minutes. Okay. Motion to approve by Commissioner Daly with a second by Commissioner Frazier. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Drives and roads acceptance of new county roads A and B are in Everett Woods subdivision, Phase 2B, District 6, they're Bell Pond Avenue, Dalton View Lane. C and D are in Penrose Forest subdivision, District 4, T Olive Lane and Yellow Jasmine Lane. E is Dennis Fox Lane. F, Blueberry Patch Lane. G, Blackberry Trellis Lane. And H, Judith Fox Lane, and they're located in Berry Patch Farm subdivisions. And the units 1 and 2, District 7.
Motion. Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Jay with a second by Commissioner Ward. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Line item transfers, total amount of $2,918,662.66.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Jay with a second by Commissioner Schoonmaker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Clerk?
Budget amendments, total credit amount of $11,365.61.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Jay with a second by Commissioner Schoonmaker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Clerk, next item.
218 notary applications.
Is there a motion? Motion to approve by Commissioner Daly with a second by Commissioner Ward. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Spread of record travel for the 2023 Annual National Association of Counties, NACO Conference.
Okay. We do not have any non-consent items. They have been deferred or withdrawn. There are no ordinances on first and second reading for this meeting, so that brings us to public forum, open topics. We have 2 people signed up. James Jernigan, if you are here, you may approach the podium. Please state your name and county of residence, and you will have 5 minutes.
Good evening. James Jernigan, 9304 Gabriel Road. That's Strawberry Plains side of Knox County. I'm here tonight to try and persuade you all to put the full force of Knox County government on what I would consider a nuisance company by the name of Darling Ingredients. I live in Lions Creek subdivision, and on 2 separate occasions this year, Lions Creek has been blocked off, inaccessible for hours because Darling has either turned a truck over or spilled their goo. For those of you who do not know what Darling is, they have a rendering plant at the end of Johnson Road. What that is they take animal parts that aren't used in slaughterhouses, grease traps and that such, transport them to the end of Johnson Road, and they make another product out of it. On these 2 separate occasions, one was a brand new road that Knox County paid for. Darling had a truck driver coming up, unfamiliar with the road. They've shut down other rendering plants in other states, so they're all coming here now. The truck driver didn't know the road. He turned his truck over. and for hours we were kicked out of our subdivision. That included emergency services. Had we had a house fire, it would have burned down several houses. If we had a medical emergency, they would have died. That was in January, maybe end of January. Several months later, they had a spill. This spill included carcasses, blood, other kinds of goo that shut down the road as well. Neither one of these incidents did Darling notify the subdivision. We had to call 911 to get services out there to get them to move. It took hours again for the spill for them to clean up the road. These are just two separate incidents that happened this year. There's been many spills. We're not here to talk about the odor, which is putrid. Their trucks leak, and I'll challenge you to drive up Johnson Road and see the telltale spill line of goo that comes out of their trucks. You can see that line on Asheville Highway, Andrew Johnson Highway, and Strawberry Plains Pike. It's very familiar with us. The odor is very familiar with us. I've had two plant managers tell me that they could not operate today, they could not build that plant today under the guidelines that we have. So I urge you all and want to persuade you for the muscle of Knox County to get on top of Darling Industries, Darling Ingredients, and let's move them out of the county. They're not big employers. They don't offer anything. They offer odor and goo on the roads. And they make my subdivision unsafe because we can't get emergency services in there. You all don't know about this because most of the phone calls go to me or the HOA or the 911 center. They don't call you all. So I've started calling your departments within Knox County, codes, health department, whoever I may get a hold of, law director. We're trying to get this company under control. I would urge you to help us do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next on our list is Jeff Tallman. Mr. Tallman, if you're here, please approach the podium. I don't see him. But I do see that Mr. Roach has arrived. If you would please, sir, you can approach the podium. State your name and county of residence. You have 5 minutes to speak.
Thank you. Thank you. I was here to speak on the resolution on the interlocal agreement between Knoxville and Knox County for the Housing Stability, Office of Housing Stability. I was expecting to actually speak on the agenda item, but of course you all did consent and just got everything pushed through. And which I also, this is my comment, my feelings on this. You got to stop doing that. There's too many important things that you guys vote on that people do want to speak on and get you all to react and tell them why these things are going through, especially on large expenditure items. One of the questions that I did have about this was the very fact that at City Council last week, as they passed their half of this agreement, okayed it, I asked the question, what is expected? What does this office intend to do? What is its agenda? And I just got through talking to Ms. Reed outside, and there was no answer for it at the time, except for intent. Nothing in writing. Nothing's been done, okay? And I find that for a legislative, especially for two legislative bodies, to do something like that, where you don't have something written down for a new office, and you don't know what the full parameters of their function are, and you know, those things aren't in place, okay? And there's too much writing on this potential Office of Housing Stability, way too much, okay? You know, it's been acknowledged, not only mental health, which is connected to, in many cases, the status of whether or not you have a roof over your head, whether you can afford to have a roof over your head. All these other issues are interconnected, okay, and they cannot be separated. So I wanted to know at that time what the relationships were going to look like with these other departments which cover these other areas, which are intertwined. And I don't see where county commission nor city council, for something as important as this, could define it. Or at least wanted to have a conversation about it. Because there was like one interesting thing about who chooses the director and how do you agree on that. The mayors do this. Okay, what happens if you don't agree on that person? Okay, well, we're going to do it, is what Mayor Kincannon said. We can't count on that. Okay? So that type of procedural thing on something so important cannot continue to happen. And I would beg of you all, okay, if you have to stay here till midnight sometimes, do it. Do it. So you can hear input from the people who are going to be the most affected by the legislation that you all pass. That's it. It is what it is.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Tallman, have you arrived? I do not see him, so that concludes our public forum for open topics. That moves us to other business. Commissioner Schoonmaker,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last week, we had a discussion on the standing committees and who would want to fulfill those slots. Several commissioners indicated they wanted to think about it. We still have potentially 2 openings on the Insolvency Board, 2 on the Rules, and 1 on the Joint Education Committee. Has anybody else thought of about whether they wanted to serve on any of those committees? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Insolvency Board, we had Commissioner Lee and Commissioner Freight that were interested in participating in that, and no one else. Two additional openings.
Commissioner Oster.
Oster, okay, good deal. So 1 more for insolvency.
I think I'm on insolvency. I'm happy to stay.
Okay.
Well, it renews. You don't.
Yeah, I'll be
okay.
both rules and insolvency. I'd be
Yeah.
happy to serve on.
Okay, and then rules, we have Commissioner Frazier, and Commissioner Durrett. And that leaves 2 openings.
Commissioner Oster, would you be interested?
Okay, and Lee, okay. And then on the Joint Education Committee, we have Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Frazier, and Commissioner Oster with 1 slot open.
Daisha?
I don't mind serving if no one else wants to.
Okay. No. Okay. And then, let's see, Commissioner Hill.
If I'm nominated, I will.
And is anybody else running for chairman?
I would like to as well.
Okay. And how about vice chairman? See your lights on.
I would like to if I'm nominated.
Okay, anybody else want to run for vice chairman? It's in our discussion item.
Committee.
No, it says commission reorganization and committees, and that's part of commission reorganization. Okay, well, the whole idea was just to everybody get an understanding of what's going on before Friday morning, and you can think about things, and we can decide then at that point who wants to serve as chairman of those committees and things, so. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Yes. Commissioner Oster, do you?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like everyone to wish Commissioner Hill a happy birthday. Her birthday's today.
Okay.
So, Richie, are you gonna sing?
We can start it. No, that's all right. Now we almost.
I appreciate
Maybe after. Commissioner Daly, your light's on.
Mr. Tallman's here.
Mr. Tallman, if you would like to speak, just please
Yes,
state your
I
name
would.
and county of residence, and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would like to speak. Thank you, commissioners, and appreciate your service to our great community. And I'm on the ballot to be the next mayor for the city of Knoxville, and I'm having the time of my life getting a greater glimpse into what a great city we live in. And so I just wanted to touch base with you today. Sometimes people ask in Knoxville, I'm sure you hear this conversation regularly, do you live in the city or do you live in the county? And we frequently ask that as if they're two discrete jurisdictions, as if you either live in North Carolina or you live in South Carolina. And I think that is a dialectic which we need in our community to get beyond. In my observation, we all drink from the same well. And my predisposition is to figure out every way we can, in the interest of service to our constituents, to work together. We've got regional challenges, and I'm a regional-minded person. Whether it's law enforcement, whether it's economic development, whether it's resource stewardship, whether it's traffic, et cetera. These are regional issues, and we need to work together to address these for our citizens. The Knox Focus had a headline a couple of weeks ago. The headline had a picture of me and some elected officials from the county, and it stated, if elected, Tallman will have the city and the county working together. I don't know what the opposite of that is, to tell you the truth. To me, that needs to be our instinct. And so that's what I'm here to share with you. The pillars of my campaign to be the next mayor for the city of Knoxville are unity, safety, and prosperity. So unity is sort of what I just alluded to there. I think we need to work together. Safety is a big deal. I will pledge that if elected KPD, there will be no daylight between the sheriff's department and our school security. We have to protect our citizens. That is job number one. We can have lots of great urban amenities, we can have bike trails and lots of things, but if we can't protect our citizens, we're flirting with illegitimacy as a government. And we're going to have a different tone on public safety and public order in the public square. The city and the county, to your credit and to the city's credit, have invested and have plans for a multi-use stadium in our old city. As a person who's been beating the drum for the revitalization of our city for 40 years, I was a member of City People in 1985. I know the opportunities to build our city. This is a great city building opportunity. However, if we don't sweat the details and make sure that we have a family-friendly environment, if we have defecation on the sidewalk, if we've got open drug use, if we've got a general air of menace and mayhem, it'll take about 50 minutes to figure out that this is not a place where our families will want to bring their children to see soccer games and all the other events that are going to be there. I study cities, I love cities, and great cities are great cities because leaders step up and make sure that signals are clear, everyone understands what constitutes acceptable public behavior in the public square. So we're going to do that. The second pillar is safety, which I've alluded to. We've got some sophisticated law enforcement challenges. We've got interstates that run to Los Angeles and Miami and Detroit. And sometimes I've observed that we have a little bit of a naivete as to the nature of the violence that we need to be prepared for. We're gonna have a team with KPD. I'm committed to having a world-class law enforcement agency. Right now, they've got some challenges, if you've been paying attention to the news, and we're going to address that and make sure that there is trust in the community, because without that, it doesn't make any difference what you do in terms of how you engage your citizens. I think in many ways we're on the verge of a golden age. I just was at the E-Tech meeting in Oak Ridge on Friday, and the opportunities with our leadership in nuclear power and what's going on at the National Laboratory boggles the imagination. There are things going on that you can't even pronounce or register with your mind. It's terrific. It's awesome. And this is a great new opportunity for our citizens. So unity, safety, prosperity. For those of you who have city districts or straddle the city, if those of you who have city constituents, let them know that Election Day is tomorrow. There's a real choice on the ballot, and I'm having a great time getting to know the city and our community better, and presenting to the good citizens of our community a real choice. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Frazier, your light was on before we, okay, thank you. Seeing no other lights, Commissioner Daly?
The TCCA District Theater is
Use your microphone, Garza. Bear with me just a second. The 28th of September, mark your calendar, at the Tennessee History.
East Tennessee History Center.
September 28th.
starts at 6.
Any other items for other business? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.